I'm half unprepared for this. Jamie messaged me and was like, don't forget about the call, and I forgot about the call. I'm down supporting my team today in Florida, and we were out to dinner. So I stopped at a gas station. Best part of this business, you can work from anywhere. Stopped at a gas station. Here we are. Jamie asked me to do three-way calling because we were at an event last weekend, the Leslie Zann event, and she talked about how important three-way calling was. And it is something that my team and I have implemented over the past 2 months, and it has really made a big difference. We personally have a few different times that we do three-way calling. And I know one of the questions you're going to have is, what do you say? What do you say? And mainly, you're going to have to wing it. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but every call is different. Okay? Every call is different. So the most important call that we do is within the first day or two after somebody joins. And the purpose of this call is basically when somebody joins underneath one of my level ones, we do a three-way. Now, a three-way can be one of two ways is how we do our three-ways. A lot of people just like to do them on the phone, but then I have a lot of people who prefer to do them on Zoom meetings. So we do three-way Zoom meetings for a lot of people. And I will say I do like that because I like the face-to-face interaction. I think that makes a big difference in talking on the phone because you can read people's facial expressions. So if you are able to get them on a three-way Zoom, I recommend doing that. You can read them better, and it helps you see if they're nervous, if they're excited, and they can read your excitement better than just your tone of voice. So again, it's probably half and half. Half my team does the Zoom, half does the three-way calls. And the purpose of this is for me basically to introduce myself. And after I introduce myself, I ask them their why. Why did they join Plexus? What is it they are hoping to get out of Plexus? Kind of feel them, what their goals are. And then this is where I can tell if they really want to work the business side or not. And again, you're going to have to read the people. And you're going to take it from, if it is somebody who's really excited, you're going to play off of that and you're going to really feel it and you're going to roll with it. Now, if it's somebody who does not want to work the business side, it is very, very important that you still offer the business side, that you still tell them about Fast Start Gold. Because people who weren't interested in the business side, once they hear that it's possible that they can make $1,000, close to $1,000 in their first month, things change. So you have to introduce the Fast Start Gold to them. You can't say, oh, well, they said they didn't want to work the business, so I didn't tell them. They don't know about it unless you tell them. So I always make sure that that's something that is discussed, the Fast Start Gold. And then from there, it's their decision. If they want to work it, if they don't, and if they decide that there is something they want to push for, then we'll kind of discuss how we're going to get them there. Again, it's very important. This call is very important because within the first couple of days is when they are the most excited. The most excited. You want to work with their enthusiasm. When they're excited, they push harder, they push faster. When they hear you excited and they hear their upline excited, then they're more excited. If they do want to work the business, this is when you're going to help them with their first post. Tell them, give them some ideas of what they can say. Tell them how important it is to say personal, whether that is telling their first post can be, I just joined, I'm excited, whatever, but help them with their first post. The biggest thing about three-way calls is that and for your team to succeed is for them to not feel like they're in this alone. And that is what's so important with three-way calls. When my level ones are able to get me on the phone, then they feel more confident that it's not just them. They also have their upline, and then they also have another upline. So it makes them feel a lot more comfortable. So again, it's really, really important that you do these calls. Leslie Zann had talked about doing calls with potentials, and that is also something that we've done. If you have a level 1 who has somebody who is interested in signing, but they just are having a hard time closing the deal, get them on a 3-way call. Tell your level 1 to figure out a time when all 3 of you can talk. Or Lesley-Ann talked about what's called the spontaneous 3-way call, which I think is brilliant. So she is very, very strict on using the phone. Do not message people. Do not text people. Get on the phone. And it goes back to being able to talk to people, being able to read people through voice. So one thing she says is if you're talking to a potential, or your person is talking to a potential, and they start talking about Plexus, then what she says to do is say, hold on, wait, I have a great idea. And then put the potential on hold, and then call me. And then when they call me and I say hello, they have a specific line that they're supposed to say, which is just, hi, Leslie, this is, and then state your full name. So, hi, Leslie, this is Jamie Holbert. When they say their whole name, that is their cue to me that they have a potential on the line. You know, and we still say our greetings, and I say, oh, hi, how are you? And they say, hi, how are you? And then they introduce us. And they say, Leslie, this is my friend Jenny, and we were just talking about Plexus, and I thought it would be great if we got you on the call to see what, you know, if you could shed some light and share some of your stories. And then I'll share, depending on what they're geared toward is what I share. If they're interested in the business side, then I will share my business testimony. If it is that there's something health-wise that I can share with them, then I'll share the health testimony. Again, it's one of those things you're going to have to, there's not going to be a strict script for any 3-way call. You have to be able to run with it. You have to be able just to live in the moment and just go with it. 3-way calls are fun. They are meant for you guys to get to know each other. They are there for you guys to encourage each other. That is the purpose of a 3-way call. So everybody feels comfortable. Everybody feels like they're not in this alone. That is what's important. Another thing that I have implemented with the 3-way calls, like, okay, so I personally signed somebody. I just signed somebody on Friday. I'm going to do a 3-way call, but I didn't ask Jamie to do it, even though Jamie is my upline. And it's not that I don't want Jamie to help me or don't think Jamie has a great testimony. I actually asked one of my level 2s to help me. And the reason I did that is because the person that I signed on Friday has PCOS. And my level 2 has an amazing PCOS story. So I wanted her to be the person to do the 3-way with me because I want her input to encourage my level 1 and her journey with the PCOS. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your level 1. If there is somebody on your team, on your sideline, who you think would be more beneficial for your 3-way, then ask them if they mind doing one with you. I think it's important, again, that's the one thing I love about this business is we are a family and we all help each other out. Although it is best to get your upline on, if there is somebody who is struggling with something specific, like if I had somebody who's struggling with major depression, I'm going to put Sabrina on the line. I'm going to see if Sabrina can do a call with me. You really want to stick it to your own team, though. I'm not going to go off to Jamie's other level 1s and down in their team and ask them to do it. You need to stay in your own team. You know, people that they're going to see on like my team page. So they feel that relationship with them. I have found that works really well because then they feel like they have somebody who's on the same journey as them and they know who to turn to if they're having problems and they're not seeing the results they want. They know who they can turn to a little better than me because I don't suffer from PCOS or depression or anything like that. They have somebody who they feel more comfortable talking to. And I think that's a really good plan. So things we go over, the why, the goals, and then we've also implemented at the 1 month. I think it's very important around 1 month to do another 3-way with your level 1 and then the person who signed a month ago. And this has been huge. I mean, huge, 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 huge. We all know that a lot of people fall off after the first month. They're not seeing the results they want. They didn't get any customers. They didn't get anybody to sign, whatever. So around 1 month, we do another call. And then they can tell us their concerns with what's been going on over the last month. I haven't found anybody. Nobody's been interested. I'm not getting the results I want, whatever. Or on the other side, I'm really excited. I have all these leads and nobody's ordered yet, or they have ordered. I'm so excited. But it gives you the chance to help encourage them through the first month. I personally didn't get a customer for 3 months after I started this business. My first customer didn't come for 3 months. So I'm able to tell them if they are discouraged, not to be discouraged, and share my story with them and say, I didn't have my first customer in 3 months, and it really helps them to not get in the mindset of I can't do this. And I think that's been a big, big player in our people not falling off and white lining as quickly. They need the encouragement. They need to know that just because they didn't sign somebody in their first month, like Susie Q, who joined the same day they did, that doesn't mean they're not going to be successful. That it doesn't mean that people aren't going to come. So that has been huge. And I make sure that we do that. Those people are the people that I see who are signing people, who are still posting. We can also take that time to go over questions that they have about their posting, about people who have messaged them. We can stress the importance of making sure that you follow up, don't give up on somebody, all that good stuff that comes along with following up and not getting discouraged. And that's basically it. It's not anything hard. You roll with it, and it's all about building the relationship. That's what it's about. Building the relationship with you, your level 1, and their person, and helping to strengthen that relationship and making them feel like they're not alone in this business. That's when people get discouraged. That's when people fall off, because they feel like they're in this on their own. Nobody's there to help them, and it gets stressful for them. So it's easier for them just to give up. You don't want to let them give up. You obviously want to help them in their journey. So it's about all I got. Sorry if I talk too fast. I'm a fast talker.
No, you're good, Leslie. Hey, so tell us, you went gold in a year, and then in another year you went senior gold. Tell us how it's kind of changed your Plexus journey now, because now you're set up to go Ruby, possibly senior Ruby this month, possibly double rank. How, tell us about that.
So I hit gold February of last year, and I sat there. I went to convention. I was all gung-ho after convention, and then life happened. And life happens to everybody, and it's what you do with it when life happens that makes a difference. And I didn't do it. I just let life happen. So in January, I decided to reevaluate my business. What was going on that needed to be changed. And in that, I really found that the relationship part was what needed to be changed. That I needed to not look at my people like numbers. I needed to not look at my people as a way for me to hit senior gold, but to look at them as people that I love and care for, because they do, and how can I help them? And that's where the relationship building of the 3-way calls came into play, was because I don't ever want anybody to feel like they're left out in this, that they are on their own. I reached out to all of my level ones in January, and we all talked. I talked to each one of them individually. We talked about their goals, where they would like to be, how I can help them specifically, what pushes them, what drives them. And I learned that. I really, really learned and studied them. I know for the most part, all of my level ones, excuse me, what makes them tick, what makes them push harder, what makes them more excited. And I think that was huge for me, because once I knew that about all of my people, I knew how to pour into them better. So once I did that, they all started thriving, and encouraging them and helping to strengthen their relationships with their downline as well. And people have just skyrocketed. I mean, really skyrocketed.
Yes. For those of you that don't know, Leslie's added. Do you know how many people you've added since January? I know it's
5-ish,
yeah.
probably.
So to go from, just that momentum, and now, you get that power 3 like we were talking about, and it's trickling down her downline. And so that relationship is huge, 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 huge.
Yeah, in February I did 35 to my team. Last month was 41, and so far it's been 21 this month. So
That's awesome. And if you're a gold ambassador or silver ambassador, those numbers are huge numbers for you and your teams. And it is so much about the relationship, because people are always going to work harder for a relationship than they are for a congratulations. So thank you so much, Leslie, for sharing your wisdom with us. And I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.